We will now get into creating a basic customer support agent demo. This is something that can be put up on websites similar to the lead capture agent and responds with basic FAQ knowledge on a business. And if necessary, it can use our Airtable implementation to be forwarded to a human. Let's jump into a key concept in AI agents, which is the knowledge base. Think of a knowledge base as a lookup table for the AI, which it will use to recall and produce information that it sees most relevant to the user query. We won't get too much into the technicalities of how it works now, but all you need to know is this is what the AI will pull its information from. Here in VoiceFlow, let's just create a new agent. I'm going to call this customer support demo. For the modality, I'll select chat, and for the language, English. Now we can hit continue. And here we are in the designer. I'm just going to press Command plus A or Control plus A on Windows so we can delete everything that's in here. Then we can hit this back arrow and go to the knowledge tab. This is where we can input information to our knowledge base. So at the top, you can see that right now we have no data sources. In the top right, we have add data source, and there are 5 main data sources that we can add. We're going to ignore the bottom 2 for now as they're not important as the top 3. First is plain text. This is where we can just type in the text that we want the AI model to use as a knowledge base. Then we can upload a file. This can be in the form of a PDF or a document or a text file. And then there's URLs, which I will talk about in just a second. So what we're going to be doing is creating an example customer support agent for the real world and the war room that could go on CobraTate.com. When you're building this out as a free value for a client, you might not have the information on their business besides what they have on their website. So what you can do is visit their website and enter all of the URLs for their different pages, and VoiceFlow will automatically web scrape those pages for text that it can then use to fill in the knowledge base. So what we want to do is head over to CobraTate.com so we can start pulling information. Here we are. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the real world. I can simply come to the top, copy this URL, go back to the knowledge base tab, hit add data source, go to URLs, and then paste our URL. Under this, we have an option for a refresh rate. This will set how often the data from this URL will be refreshed. I recommend daily. This way, if there's any updates to the website or the information, it will refresh that information that will be used in the agent. So then we can go ahead and import this data source. The next thing I want to do is visit the other URLs that we have for the real world. So I'm on www.jointherealworld.com. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this link, head back to the knowledge base and add another data source, a URL. Same thing, paste the URL and then set this to daily and then import. The last one I want to grab for the real world is actually information from university.com. And then the same thing, copy the link, bring it back to the knowledge base, add a data source, and then go ahead and import this. Now, let's add some information for the war room. So back on CobraTate.com, we can go ahead and click this war room tab, and this will bring us to this page that we can copy the link for. Head back to the knowledge base and repeat the process. So now, if we wanted to preview the information that's been pulled from those URLs, we can just click this data source, and then you can see this is all the text that it's scraped from the URLs. We can see you can get rich with just 1 year of focus, but only if you invest your focus in the right business models. This is just all the text that is available on the site, and you can see that it's a bit messy. Whilst entering URLs is a good route, you'll also want to provide some of your own documents that you've written out to ensure the exact type of questions you expect can be answered. So let's go ahead and add another data source. I'm just going to make this plain text. From here, we can start writing directly with the interface, and then everything that we write will be saved to the knowledge base for the AI to reference. So here, I've just written some text. It says the real world costs $49.99 per month. It teaches 12 plus online modern wealth creations. After joining the real world, you don't need any extra money. Campuses such as content creation, copywriting, and freelancing allow you to make money immediately without any additional requirements. Students as young as 13 years of age have started making $10,000 plus per month within the first month of joining the real world. There are new lessons updated daily at 8 a.m. that bring the newest and best ways to make money. This is the the official link to join the real world and purchase it. And then we provide the link in the text. This is useful as it gives us the link to check out whenever it talks about the real world. Then we say, the real world has multi-million professors that teach you the best and easiest ways to make money. If you're willing to work hard, you will succeed. The real world can also be referred to as TRW. This is important so the AI doesn't get confused at all if people start referencing it as TRW. From here, we can just import. Now let's do the same thing for the war room. So we're just going to add data source, plain text. This one is much shorter. We just have the war room is $7,979 and can be bought directly at this URL. Then we provide the URL and then we say the war room can also be referred to as TWR. From here, we can then import. Now that we've got all our data sources added to the knowledge base, we can go ahead and query the knowledge base to see how much the AI knows. So here, if you come up to this preview tab, you can enter a question for the knowledge base. I'm just going to go ahead and write, how much does the real world cost? And send it through. You can see we get an answer and it says the real world costs of $4.99 per month. If you click these sources, you can see where it pulled this information from. As you can see, it got some from jointherealworld.com and the text that we wrote. This is using what we call chunks. But don't worry, we're going to get more into the knowledge base works in future lessons. Now that our knowledge base is all set up, we can move forward into designing our agent in the next lesson.